Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlotte and this is Happy Twins 1111. So today we've got a new pick a card reading just to have a quick catch up on your DM's karmic situation. Let's find out what's happening between them and how that might be moving forward and what you can do as well to move forward and to help this connection in the interim. So if you haven't watched my readings before, if I pause, just be patient with me. It's because I'm channeling my guide Arthur, and Arthur is a spirit guide that works with me purely for tarot. It was actually him that guided me to set up this channel. He's a lovely chap and he often comes through with messages. I am primarily claircognizant, which means most of what's coming through me is from Arthur anyway, but sometimes, you know, he will kind of buzz in my ear and ask me to pause and listen carefully. So if I go quiet, that's why. Now you can find out what decks I'm using on the timestamps for each pile in the description box below. And you can also get information there about how to get a private reading from me or how to donate if you would like to exchange an energy and help support this channel to help keep it going. Really, really appreciate all your support, comments, likes, shares and subscribes. It's a huge help. I'm so delighted how I've been received by this community. Thank you so much for tuning in. So let's get down to pile one. What's going on in your DM's karmic situation? Let's have a look-see. This was actually my very first tarot deck. I've had this one for 20 years. It's the Enchanted Tarot by Amy Zerner. Love it. So what's happening in your divine masculine's karmic situation? Okay, well this isn't the best news for you, Divine Feminine. This guy's really trying very hard at the moment. So if you chose this pile, then your Divine Masculine does have a family. And at the moment he's working very hard to keep that family together. That's where his focus is. I know that's really hard to hear, but you know, we've got to keep it real and I need to be honest with you about what I'm seeing. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles here and the 10 of Hearts, or Cups as it's known. And you know, these are the cards of family and union, and we really see him rejecting this intuitive soul connection here with the High Priestess in reverse and with the 4 of Cups in reverse. You know, in this deck, the 4 of Cups, to me, she's kind of opening that Pandora's box. In reverse, that energy's blocked. You know, he's blocking this right now. He's blocking you out. And Arthur's telling me to remind you that I know this is hard to hear, but you have to trust that this journey does serve you and this part of his journey serves him. And Arthur's saying it actually speaks volumes about his character, that he's focused on his family right now. It really does. I know it's very hard for you to hear, but that's where he's at. He's focused on trying to make that work. See how he feels about his karmic. Okay. So I feel like this guy is very much trapped by dogma and religion, by a religious authority, by an expectation. It wouldn't be very well received in his family for him to leave this connection, and he's really being a martyr to that, which is what we see with the King of Cups reversed. You know, he is honouring tradition and the respect and culture of his family, and the expectations they have of him. You know, that's what we see with the Hierophant here, which is very much about, you know, this card is often known as the Pope. So, you know, this guy is really trying his very best to not disappoint everybody. I feel like it would be very, very poorly received were he to leave his family. And you know, with the King of Cups and the Queen of Hearts upright here, I feel like his karmic is very emotionally manipulative. You know, she very much pulls that "you're going to bring shame on your family" card, and he's a martyr to that. You know, that's what the King of Cups is. Reverse, I really see him as the martyr. And with the Fool in reverse, you know, he knows this is a risky decision. He knows it's foolish. He knows it's naive. And that he's forsaking his heart's desire for... I'm getting such a sad feeling in my chest as well. This is a very selfless man. It's a very selfless man. Let's see how he feels about you. He's not going there. Okay, so, I mean, in the centre here we have the Two of Cups. You know, this is the true card of union, the two swans, eternal love. And we also have the Ace of Wands, which is that fiery, passionate, creative and spiritual connection, the one. However, he's really blocking this, yeah? He's really blocking this. We've got the Four of Swords in reverse. He's refusing to reflect on it. He's refusing to dwell on it. And with the Five of Cups in reverse, he's refusing to acknowledge regret, hurt, disappointment. This guy's done a really good job of just shutting down his emotions. I feel like we've got a lot of watery emotion here, perhaps a lot of water signs involved in this situation. But certainly, you know, with these reversals that we've got, the High Priestess, the Four of Cups and the Four of Wands, the Four of Cups and the Four of Swords, the Five of Cups in reverse, the Fool in reverse, you know, he's doing his absolute utmost to not address this situation, to not allow his thoughts to wander back to you, to not allow himself to process the hurt or disappointment that A, he's caused you, and B, that he's feeling. But, you know, deep down, he knows that you're his twin. He knows that you're his soulmate. This is a big sacrifice for him. It's very sad. Honestly, I can't tell you how much sadness is in my chest right now. And Arthur's asking me, I'm just going to repeat this word for word how he's saying it. Just give me a second. So he wants you to know that physical union is an illusion. That real twin flame union occurs on the spiritual planes when both twins ascend. And this man's spirituality, which runs deep, it runs deep in his family, it runs deep in his heart, will allow him to continue ascending on this journey with you. And that spiritual ascension between the two of you will eventually lead to divine union. And it is divine, that is fated. But your paths aren't meant to cross right now in the physical planes. And whilst that's very, very difficult for you to hear right now, he asks you to trust that this is what ultimately serves you both, and that you must be patient and you must keep faith. So let's see what you need to do to move forward. You need to do the work. You need to be patient and not get frustrated. Oh, my darling girl, you need to leave him alone. Okay, this is really hard. You have to do this work, okay? I know you're in a lot of pain right now, but with the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, you're being asked to do the work. And when I say work, I hate to use the word work because it sounds like it's going to be hard and unpleasant. But for you, you know, when you sow these seeds and you work on yourself and you start healing yourself, you start giving yourself that love, this is when you make progress in this journey. And as Arthur said, you know, physical union is an illusion. Spiritual union is still possible, and you can connect with your twin flame in the 5D with your divine masculine. But right now you're really being called to leave him alone. Do not send him messages of love. Do not contact him. You need to hold back. You know, that's what we see with this Princess of Pentacles, holding on to that pentacle, holding on to her grounding. Okay? She's moving forward with that. The Princess of Pentacles, you can see, of Hearts, you know, she's reading these notes, but in reverse, you know, you're guided not to communicate with him. You must give this man his space and peace, because he's doing the right thing by his family, and that's what serves you both right now. I know that's hard, but so long as you're feeling that you can't be happy without him, you're holding back the spiritual union as well. And you're really being called to start doing that work, because you haven't. I know that you think you have, but Arthur's saying you've barely scraped the surface because you've been so focused on union. And he says deep down you knew this was always going to be the case. You knew he couldn't leave his family. You knew he wouldn't leave his wife. You knew this would be too painful a step for him, that he can't face that stigma of shaming his family and shaming not just his immediate family, his partner and his children, but his wider family, who in their culture this just isn't an acceptable move. And as I said, there's so much sadness for me from him, but he's a very good man. And he knows how to hold himself and block this out. And it's something that you're struggling with. And you've got to trust that when you start working on yourself, when you start sending yourself the love that you are sending him, this is when you begin to move forward. And this is when, you know, you begin to find real happiness. Let's see what else is waiting for you. You know, no one can give you that which you don't already have, and that goes for happiness as well. You have to be happy inside of yourself. You can't pin that on your twin flame. It's an inside job. You know, to expect happiness from outside of you is attachment. That means you're not whole. I hate delivering bad news. This is a very hard reading to swallow if you've chosen this pile. I do understand. So, the first card, well, we've got yes and no. I'm going to choose a different one for you in a minute from a different deck. We've got say no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. We've also got say yes. Just say yes. Now, to me, this is say no to darkness, okay? Say no to the pain. And when we say just say yes, in this card, you've got 3 people in this connection. You have to say yes to it. You have to acknowledge it. You know, this is you in the middle, reaching for the light, okay? You have to trust. You have to trust that you can move this forward on your own. And all of these advice cards are pentacles, they're earth cards. And this card says get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So, you know, you need to get outdoors. Stop holding yourself up inside moping. You need to get outdoors. You need to get your feet in the ground, in the earth. And you need to start moving forward. You have to. I feel like there's going to be a period of kind of dark night where you're feeling really down with this. But you have to trust that as you begin to move forward, fate will always intervene. Okay, remember, you're never disconnected from your twin. You're always connected. You're never really separate. Physical separation is just an illusion, just as physical union is. I'm going to choose you one of these as well because they're always so appropriate. Worlds within worlds. 3 and 6 together is 9. Bear with me because the book's behind me. And 9 is the number of, you know, going within, of individuality. I'm going to read you this one straight from the book. I'm not going to do this for all piles, just this one. Right, you ready? This card serves as a reminder to look within yourself for answers. It's wonderful that you're so open to the opinions of others, but be discerning. Use your inner knowing to decipher and interpret what feels right for you. Many look for the source of all life outside of themselves, but if you truly wish to connect to that greater pool of conscious love, look within. Inside you, the cosmic universe spans with inner worlds and stars. Yes, inside you. You are master and creator of the worlds and galaxies within you. How you are as that creator ultimately affects the outer world that you are also part of. See yourself as the greater body and within you the cell that also needs to hold its vibration and healthy light. You as a creative master can affect your cells or worlds by your thoughts, actions and words. Raising the healthy light of your cells raises your own vibrational light, thus raising the planetary light as a whole. If a cell in your body is imbalanced and sick, that sickness slowly starts to spread to the rest of your body. See the earth as a cell in the body of universal energy. It is vital that the vibration of this earth is raised to positively affect this greater universal body. You are a creative God of infinite power and light. The more you come to understand this truth, the more you will be amazed by the power you hold as an individual to manifest and bring about peace and change. And the affirmation is, I am love, expanding and growing in power, clarity and truth. Associated chakras are the heart, third eye and crown. So, I know this is a really painful message for you today, Divine Feminine that chose part 1. This is a really bitter pill to swallow, but please do not reject this journey. You have to surrender to it. You have to accept that this is how it is right now. And you have to trust me when I tell you that this journey is a gift. It may not feel like it now, but it is a gift. Once you break through, once you move into surrender, you will see that. You will be able to appreciate it and you will count all of your blessings. And I understand this because I've been through it. There are so many of us twins here that have been through these separations, and this painful feeling of longing and just hurt. So reach out. We're all here for you because we know how it feels. But now is the time to step into your power, to step into your own love and to start taking care of yourself, to turn the focus of that love inwards and not towards your twin. You need to give him the respect and peace and time and space to do what he needs to do. That's what unconditional love is. It doesn't have expectations other than, to love anyway. So I hope you're good. I hope that was helpful. Okay, part 2, let's see what you've got. What's happening with your Divine Masculine's karmic situation? Oh, I'll take that one. Wow. He's moving on. So this guy's redesigning himself right now. We have, in this deck, there's some extra major arcana cards. This is number 23, the artist. And we see this gentleman here naked, stripped down to bare flesh with a sketchbook in his hand and looking out onto the horizon where there's a lot of cloud, but there's a pink sky at night. He's in darkness, but he's waiting for the silver lining and he's redesigning self. He's stripped self bare so that he can start over. And with the 6 of Swords, this is the card of transition. We see this gentleman in a boat moving away, moving to calmer waters. We also have the Lover in reverse. That's an ending to that karmic relationship. And we have Strength in reverse. He has completely run out of steam for this situation. So this guy, and he's ended it with his karmic. He's working on himself and he's moved away from that already. It's done. It's done. Arthur's saying you're going to hear from him really soon. Let's see how he's feeling about the karmic situation. he's not surrendered completely to these feelings, but he's shut down from it. So, you know, with the Hanged Man in reverse, wow, there's a lot of stagnant energy, a lot of, there's a lot of blocked energy, but when I say stagnant energy, he's not really sure how to move forward. He, as I say, he's at this redesigning stage. He feels stripped bare, and he's not quite ready to surrender to what is. There's a real imbalance as well in this karmic situation, because I feel like his karmic relies on him financially. That's what we're seeing with the Six of Pentacles. You know, he's still supporting that situation in some way, but he has shut down. He's refusing to continue with it. And with the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands in reverse, you know, he's completely rejecting any form of communication, any form of reconciliation, and also what I believe has been very immature conflict between them. In fact, this karmic may have been a bit younger than him, because there's a definite financial imbalance between them, of him feeling very responsible for her financially still, and she's creating problems for him that way, which are kind of slowing it down. So let's see how he's feeling about you. Okay, so you're going to need to be patient with this guy, because he is in a state of flux right now, okay? We do have a lot of blocked energy still, and that's because he's stuck where he is in terms of trying to, you know, cut the final ties, and I feel they're financial ones. These people might still be living together, I feel. This divine masculine and his karmic, they've got some financial stuff which they still haven't unraveled between them, and it may be home, bills. You know, there's something that's still tying him in. Emotionally, he's moved away. He's told her it's over. But I feel like there's some responsibility still there that he's got to tie up. So at the moment with the Magician in reverse, you know, he is feeling powerless and not sure how to come towards you. You know, those feelings are there. They're very strong, but he's not feeling like he can release them at the moment. He's very overwhelmed. And with the Queen of Cups in reverse as well, he doesn't want to come towards you from a place of emotional imbalance, emotional instability, emotional vulnerability. He wants to come in strong, and he wants to come in, you know, with messages of love, which is what we see with this Knight of Cups energy, you know, offering his cup. But as you can see, he's fully armored up, okay? There's still a need to protect himself. He's feeling very vulnerable, battered and bruised right now, and he's really not sure what your reaction's going to be. I think actually it's been a long time. If you've chosen this pile, Arthur's saying it's been a long while since you've communicated, and he's really not sure what your reaction's going to be. But he's feeling very amorous about you. He's also, yeah, his energy is in flux. He's just a bit stuck. He's a little bit stuck. So he's going to come forward with that cup, but he's going to come forward tentatively and gently with his armor intact to protect himself. Let's see what you need to do to move forward. So you need to get grounded, Divine Feminine. You've been rejecting. What's the word? So Arthur's saying that you've kind of been in party mode. You've been very sociable. You've been very distracted. You've been trying to kind of not focus on real life affairs. It's almost like you've been through this period of being kind of sucked into distracting behaviours, distracting social life to just keep you sane. But you're really being called to step back into your grounded, Queen of Pentacles, earthly power. You know, this is stepping back into your own abundance, refocusing on work. And, you know, the Six of Cups is a beautiful card. This is about connecting with your inner child and, you know, this soul connection in the most beautiful, powerful way. I'm really guided to say you've enjoyed a lot of past lives with this particular twin. And memories of that and that connection is deeply being triggered for you right now. And Arthur's saying you can really let your hair down and just wait patiently. You've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work already. You've done a lot of spiritual work. You've done a lot of healing. And now is a real time for celebration. That's what we see with this Three of Cups. It's the time for celebration and for, you know, celebrate your joys. Arthur's saying this is a very blessed union. So actually, this is a really lovely message. He's saying most of what you need to do to move forward is continue as you are. He's saying that the partying, the embracing life with both hands that you've been engaging in is not a bad thing. It's a wonderful thing because it's helped you remember who you are. It's helped you reconnect with old friends. It's helped you forgive the inner child wounds and really move forward. But you're just being called now to step into your abundance and just to rebalance your earthly affairs, because when this guy comes back, it is going to trigger you a little bit. Not a lot, but it's going to trigger you a little bit. And this may impact your work temporarily. So you need to get your ducks in a row to make sure that all your bills are up to date and that you're kind of ready and stable for this. This is really positive. I'm getting such lovely vibes off this. Arthur's showing me that you're really, really calm and in such a good place. You've got good stuff to look forward to. See what else you can do to move forward. So this one, you're already doing it. Just as Arthur said, stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. You know you're on the right path. You know exactly what you need to do. We've also got in a temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. You've already been giving yourself this love. You know what you need to do. You need to keep doing that. Whenever you wobble and you have any doubts, you need to give yourself that love. And with Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? And this has come up right above the Queen of Pentacles. If there's a new project that allows you to teach or lead others, and you've been mulling it over, you need to step into that now. Now is the time. You're really being called to do that. This is a really beautiful lineup for you, Pile 2. Arthur's saying the reunion with your twin won't be what you expect it will be more. And that you still need to be a little bit patient, but that you're in the right place to receive his words with integrity and with love. You know what unconditional love is now. You've worked really hard. So what happy news for you, Pile 2. I hope that helped. Thank you for tuning in. And I apologise for my sniffles this evening, if I keep sniffing. All right, Pile 3. Let's see what's going on in your DM's karmic situation. What's going on? Okay. So this guy, Arthur's telling me he's kind of got the spooks at the moment because he's being prodded left, right and centre with signs and synchronicities. But he's very naive to it still. He doesn't really understand what's happening. And regards his karmic, you know, he's still taking steps in the dark with that. He's keeping his options open. But I'm guided to tell you that the wheel is turning. You know, we've got the Wheel of Fortune here. And in this deck, this is a really powerful card. It shows this new portal opening up, this new beginning. He just doesn't realise it yet. Actually, this karmic situation is actually out of his hands. It's out of his hands. This is in the hands of the divine. This is a very fated situation. I'm going to pull some clarifiers. Karmic retribution. Okay. Wow, I've never had this before. So Arthur's saying, this is really interesting. So Arthur's saying it's undecided because there's a lot of unresolved karma here. And how your divine masculine responds will have a dramatic impact on the outcome of this situation with his karmic. And it's still hanging in the balance. But it is fated. And he's just got to take the right option. And once he takes that step, and it won't be the one we expect it to be, we've got these, you know, this is the Seven of Cups. You can see all the different options in that cup. But he's in this King of Wands energy. He just doesn't realise it. You know, he's really kind of... We've got a wolf here as well, which to me is kind of sniffing out the truth and taking steps forward. But as I said, there's a lot of karma here with the Wheel of Fortune and Justice. You know, and the eagles here, which are about higher perspective, and that higher perspective isn't from him. This is from above. And with the Page of Wands, you know, we see a lot of fast forward movement with him holding out this fire. There's stuff he needs to deal with in the past first, and that will determine how he moves forward. But this is really hung in the balance. Fate has not yet decided how this will move forward, but it will move forward by the hands of fate. This is about divine timing and divine intervention. See how he feels about his karmic. Undecided. Undecided. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, with this karmic, there's a lot of balance and simpatico between them. I feel like they've worked really hard and been together a long time to build a home. But the karma that's unresolved here right now is shadow work. You know, this is what this card shows us. These guys have still got a little bit of work and learning to do. And as I said, that's all about divine intervention. That's about that wheel turning in its own time, and then that karma being released so that he can rush away from that situation quite fast and furiously. But in terms of how he feels about her, you know, there is balance there, but there is also a tremendous amount of indecision. There's a point where he's choosing, he's weighing those options up, and he's just not sure. And he's looking back to the past, and he's dealing with those shadows. You know, shadow work is important. It's about healing the wounds inside of us and really purging, which is what hopefully you're doing whilst you're in separation. Because, you know, so Arthur's reminding us that, you know, shadow work is what this journey is already about. You can't shine your light fully as a twin until you've done that shadow work. You know, shadows create darkness, and the twin flame union is supposed to create light. So whilst you've still both got shadows lurking, you know, you will continue rolling around these different karmic situations until you do that work. See how it feels about you. This is such an interesting reading. Oh, this is lovely. So in terms of how it feels about you, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. And I think in this card, it's really interesting because we've got these mirrors with rainbows. And I think this guy knows that, you know, you are in his future and this is what you're both working towards. But both of these statues are facing away from another. You know, their rainbows move in each of their own direction. And even though there's this unity and mirror image on this card, you know, they're both facing away from each other, looking towards their own rainbows. And remember, we only get rainbows when it rains, when there's sun and rain. And we need the thunder to do that shadow work. So this is actually a really beautiful card. I feel like this guy is actually very, very spiritual and he understands this connection. That's why we see him with this King of Wands. He's naive to what's actually happening from a conscious perspective, but he is actually very spiritually connected and switched on, and he knows that there's something special between you. He knows that you both just, the timing wasn't right for you. And with this Ace of Cups here, and again, I love how there's more rainbows in this card. Again, shooting in both directions with the rose, a symbol of true love. And this one cup, you know, the Ace of Cups is really about the overflowing heart. So he feels very strongly for you. And he really admires your beautiful, independent and abundant spirit. I feel like you're a very accomplished divine feminine, and he holds you in very high esteem. He's so, so very happy. And the Six of Pentacles can often be about an imbalance and equal give and take. But in this card, I actually see a lot of equality. You know, this lady is holding all of these pentacles in perfect balance and is sat in a really beautiful meditative state. And for me, the six is also a number of, you know, of soul work, of soul connection. So that's a really beautiful lineup for in terms of how he feels about you. But, you know, you are in separation at the moment. And, oh, wow. Okay, so just as I said that, the Eight of Cups has flown out. So the Eight of Cups is that inner quest. And, you know, eights is the number of infinity. And in this card, you know, the darkness is behind, the moon, the intuition, everything, and the water flows towards the cups. This is the return of emotion. So Arthur's asking me, you know, this fell out as I was saying you are in separation, but Arthur's saying that union, if you can imagine this as the number 8, you know, you're on that upward slant back. The water is beginning to flow back towards you. That means union is moving in the right direction. You know, you're both working really hard on this quest of inner journeying, and you've made fantastic progress, both of you. You just need to wait for divine timing now, and that's out of both of your hands. See what you need to do to move forward. Meditate. This is lovely. So, you know, you need to stay in your abundance. Stay in your abundance. And if you're thinking of changing career now, don't do it. This is not a good time. This is the time to focus on what you've already achieved and to deepen the foundations of your stability. If you don't meditate already, you need to get into that. I feel like as a divine feminine, you've done a lot of work, but you're really being called to start reflecting and doing that last bit of shadow work of your own. And the best place for you to be doing that is in meditation. Arthur's saying not therapy. Meditation, when you go within and you ask yourself, you know, you're asking your higher mind, your subconscious, what remains to be healed inside of me? You'll get answers, and you can do that in your meditative journeys. I'm being shown a lot of shamanic practices as well right now. A lot of drums, the shamanic drum beat, the Reiki drum beat to help you journey, to do that last bit of shadow work and purging. And much like the King of Cups, you need to hold your feelings. You need to hold your feelings now. You need to be strong and compassionate and hold that unconditional love you have for your twin. I feel like you've actually just about stepped into surrender. You're at a good place in your journey as well. With the Knight of Cups, you know, you're being reminded, again, this is very similar to this Eight of Cups with that stream flowing towards you. But actually right now you're being guided to cross over. Okay, don't follow that stream right now. Just cross over it and trust that you need to follow that single cup. You need to move in your own direction. There's another piece of work for you to do here. And it is a lady on this horseback, even though it's called the Knight of Cups. And she has this beautiful glowing light in her hand and the cup's down here. Usually the Knight of Cups is holding the cup out in front of him, offering his emotions. You're being asked to park them. Just to park them right now, just like the King of Cups does, you know, to be really stable and grounded in your practical affairs, and to do that last bit of shadow work. Now is not the time to rush forward with emotions. You need to give time for that wheel to turn, for the divine to let this pan out for you. It's out of your hands. Just keep doing your own work. It's very positive. This is a really magical reading, actually. See what else you can do. Align your life. What is not aligned that needs to change? Answer your call. What is your soul calling you to do? And get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So, you know, I think this really mirrors what actually came up in these cards below. Align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Don't change your career though. That's what you don't need to align. There may be a house move. There may be a more productive energy in another location for you, but don't change jobs. Arthur's very focused on not doing that, because there's going to be a work opportunity for you coming up that will serve you in the short term. If you're frustrated with your career right now, just hang in there a bit longer. It doesn't serve you to leave now. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And for me, this really links back to this Four of Swords energy and this shadow work that you're being asked to do. You know, your soul knows what you need to have and experience the truth of who you are. You just need to go within and tap into it and stay grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. You know, we've got a lot of earth and water energy here in your lineup. You may even be an earth, water cuspian. Earth, air cuspian, perhaps. Earth, fire. Either way, you need to stay grounded. You are empathetic, you are highly sensitive, and grounding yourself will help you to do that. So connect with nature. I'm seeing horses as well. You know, if you like riding, if there's an opportunity to go riding, if there's an opportunity to get out there and spend some time in the countryside and really get your feet on the ground, do that. Oh, that was lovely. I hope that helped. Thank you, Path 3, and good luck. Do comment down below and let me know if that works for you. Right. Let's get going with pile 4. What is your divine masculine doing with this karmic right now? What's happening in that karmic situation? So even though these two are a stalemate, this guy doesn't know how to move forward and end this. He is in a state of flux and indecision. And he is looking to his higher mind and the intuition that's to be found, that's to be found there for answers. And this is a spiritual man, but he identifies that this particular connection is lacking in soul depth. And, you know, with the Knight of Swords in reverse here as well, he knows he's not going to find the answers within that relationship. He's not going to find them by communicating with his karmic, but he is stuck. He's stuck and he's contemplative, he's reflective, he's actually still thinking about this and making a decision. You can see in this card, he's looking towards the moon, to those green skies, which represent the heart chakra. And there's a sword either side of him stabbed into the ground, and he just needs to grab one of them. You know, this is very much about indecision in terms of how to move forward. He knows it's the end, but he doesn't know how to end it. Let's see how he feels about the karmic. I mean, you can see there's a lot of reversals here. We've got perspective, which is actually the Hanged Man in reverse, the Six of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Wands, and the Queen of Crystals in reverse, or Pentacles as she's known. Now, pretty much all that's left in this relationship is sexual energy. That's all that remains in terms of how he feels about her. They don't share the same perspective. They are not compatible intellectually. They have different vision about how they want their lives to be. And I feel like she also relies on him financially, and that she is not the most abundant or independent of people, and this frustrates him. They are not a good match. So in terms of how he feels about her, I feel like she's just arm candy. She's just pretty to look at, you know, and I feel like the sexual chemistry as well has a big, it has a big bearing on why he's kind of stuck with this right now and why he's not ending it. It's kind of magnetic and draws him back. So in terms of how he feels about you, you know, with the Chariot reversed, he's not ready to move towards you right now. That energy is blocked. The thought of it makes him feel free and excited and driven, but he's just not ready to do that right now. He sees that soul deep connection though. He knows it's there. Okay, so we've got the Six of Cups here upright, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hierophant reverse. Now the Six of Cups, you know, this is really about that longing, that soul deep longing. In terms of this ending in this row, you know, I feel like he's waiting for something to happen. You know, the Wheel of Fortune as well is a very auspicious card. It's about the wheel turning and luck changing. And even though he's, you know, fairly spiritual and intuitive, he's not looking in the right place for guidance on this at the moment. He's not looking, he's not seeing that he's holding that power, that your connection holds that power. You know, she's got it there in her right hand, which is the hand of release. You know, he doesn't see how to move forward with this, but he is holding on tight. He's not releasing you. He's just in his own place. There's a lot of individuality in this lineup in terms of feelings. You know, he is loving you and dreaming about you from a distance. I feel like because this guy's so intuitive and he is reflective, that there may be a lot of, you know, dream, astral, telepathic connection between the two of you as well. He spends a lot of time thinking about you. See what you need to do to move forward. Girl, you need to get on your own journey. Nurture. Yes, this is all about you. Okay, so while he's in this indecisive place, you need to either show me that you are very frustrated and angry right now, and you needn't be, because he's almost there in terms of moving away from that karmic. And as soon as you step into your own journey and create that space, he will rapidly come towards you. But you're really being pushed to dive into your own journey, you know, to really step out into your journey with the Eight of Cups. And with this Queen of Cups energy, you know, you're really being called to give yourself that love. You know, the Queen of Cups is very nurturing. She knows how to take care of herself. But I want you to look at the cups in this card. One of them's over here and she's not looking at it. She's clutching this cup towards her. This is her cup. And that's the one she's taking care of. That's the one she's focused on. And for me, this is all about self-care and serenity. This card is actually the Hermit. In this deck, it's called Serenity, but this is about activating your inner light. The moon is pink. This is the healing moon. This is about going within, and that's where you find your answers and your peace and your serenity. And the Four of Wands is really about celebrating your balance, celebrating that joy. I feel like actually your frustration isn't skin deep. It's kind of an itch on the surface that you just can't quell. And actually, you know, you're very close to reaching a place of beautiful surrender, acceptance and joy. You're very close to that. There's a lot of comfort for you to be found in your home right now. I'm really feeling that it's a beautiful sanctuary. You need to surround yourself with more crystals, more reminders of your spiritual journey and your spirituality, and really throw yourself head first now into this journey. It's time. It's like you've been teetering on the edge and you now need to take that leap and push yourself over it. It's time. Oh, this is lovely. Let's see what else we've got for you. Yeah, so there's a lot of these are messages of home. Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So, you know, home is in your heart. It's not just a physical place. So that's where you need to step into your own heart, your own love. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? If there's any more toxic energy around you, people that just don't fit, that make you feel uncomfortable, trust your gut and move away from that. Now is the time to let go of the last shreds of just shit that doesn't serve you. With deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. You know, step into the sanctuary of your own love, your own heart and your own peaceful home and start taking care of self. You're not far off union. Arthur's saying you know that already. You're feeling it. But there's a tiny bit of healing to be done. You've not quite stepped into what he would describe as true self-love, but you're on the cusp of it. You're on the verge. You just need to take that final leap. Okay, guys, well, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share and subscribe. I will try and be back every single weekday this week with more updates, more picker cards. I haven't done a March update by star sign yet, but that is coming. I've just been mega busy. So have a great day. Happy Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow.